Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're all well, you beautiful, beautiful people. Now I'm going to do something today that I don't often do. It's something that you don't really see Harsh get involved in, and that is having a little bit of a rant. But look, it's a rant that's warranted. It's a rant that's warranted. Now, I was listening. There's a link in the description, and it's regarding a NewsNation video. And I hear you now. And look, I completely agree. But what this video was specifically looking at was about bullying. The bullying of the people who run this group, the people who are bullying Dylan Mortensen, people who are bullying Bethany Funk now, and the fact that they have targets on the back. And we're going to talk about Ashley Banfield's reaction to that, because I think it proves that she is on another planet. She's living in her own little dream world. And in fact, many, many people who discuss this case and talk about it are probably themselves living in a little bit of a dream world. Now, let's get one thing straight. The Idaho 4 case is a tragic, tragic story. It's a story of 4 young adults who lost their lives. And you don't really hear much about them. As with many, many of these kind of cases, the focus primarily looks at the perpetrator and anybody else on the peripherals who can add some level of intrigue to a case. It spikes people's curiosity, especially when there's holes in the case. And I think it's fair to say that there are an abundance of holes in the Idaho 4 case. Now, some may not agree. Some may say that this is over, this is dead and buried. We're now just got to wait for the process to finish and conclude and for this to be put to bed. But for many, many others, myself included, there are things that I feel have been unanswered and raise huge, huge questions. Not only in how this played out, but what happened afterwards in order to make it look a certain way. So let's talk about this video in particular, first of all. Now, this is apparently a large online group. They call themselves a discussion group, an Idaho 4 discussion group. Well, I put it to you now that in the event of a tragic case like this, when you set up a discussion group, you are perpetuating the very bullying that you are apparently so against. And again, we're going to touch on some comments towards that in a second. But because you are offering a platform for people with differing opinions to speak. It's like me. I can't complain about people who attack Brian. I can't complain about people who attack Dylan or Bethany or the other people on the peripheral. I can't, because I am perpetuating it by having a platform that enables it. I am, in fact, an enabler. But it's what we do with the platform that we create. It's whether we can turn the platform into something that is able to tame the beast, so to speak, or you can utilize the funds that it might make to do better, to provide things for people in their moment of need or times of need. And you can turn a bad thing into a good thing. So the legacy left behind from victims and those who are hurt are not just negative things, but things that have led to other people being able to perhaps escape similar situations or get answers, like we saw in the Kylie Rodney case and the good work of AWP. I know there's comments around AWP and Jared Lysak in particular, but the work that was done by AWP as a group and will continue to be done with the likes of Doug Bishop and his new venture, United Search Corps, these will continue to be platforms that will provide answers to people. Anyway, I digress. Let's get back onto the point. So I wrote some things down, and you're going to be shocked in a second, because this is a comment, this was a statement made by Ashley Banfield herself. But they're talking about the survivors having a target on the back, and that's something that we will also talk about. That's the defense language. People were jumping on that and assuming they know more. It's so frustrating. She goes on to talk about the fact that people are being bullied and having bad things said about them, saying it's frankly vile and disgusting, and those people should be ashamed of themselves. Now, I want you to let me know down below what you think of that statement in itself, coming from Ashley Banfield's mouth. Now, is she living on another planet? Or is it okay for certain people in certain areas to pick and choose who gets bullied? Because make no bones about it, guilty or not, in the eyes of the law and the process, Brian Kohberger has not been proven guilty of anything. And we talk about targets. Well, he's got more of a target than any of them. And it could be wrongfully. And later on in this video, we're going to really dig into that. So yeah, this group is apparently saying that they are getting threatened. They're getting pictures sent to them, and they're being doxxed online, having pictures of the children put online, so on and so forth. And there doesn't seem to be a limit to online bullying. That's not the problem. It's what people determine as bullying. You cannot be upset. You cannot be bent up out of shape without your permission for that to affect you in that way. Someone might come on here and say, Harsh, you fucking ugly moron. Now I can either let that get to me, or I can think to myself, I genuinely don't care what your opinion is. Someone might say, oh, your content is crap. You're just repeating yourself. You're doing this, that, and the other. I think to myself, I could take that to heart, or I could just think, I don't care. You're commenting. You're helping the algorithm see that there is interaction on this video. More people will see it. Cheers, tar, goodbye. But these people, they seem to build something that will ultimately build what they're complaining about. It will, as aforementioned, it will perpetuate bullying if you form a platform that's around a tragic event and there is differing opinions. That's just what's going to happen. Don't you lunatic. But it's not about targets being on people's back. The Idaho 4 case, 1122 King Road, there were 6 people, apparently. We still don't even know that for sure. We still are not 100% sure who was actually in there that night. But there were 6 people, 4 of them slain. One of them quickly got legal counsel, left the state, and is currently out of state in Nevada, I believe. She has been summoned by the defense because apparently she has evidence that could exonerate the accused, and she's trying to fight and battle it. The other one apparently saw the person who did it, could give an accurate description of them to a degree because it was dark, watched them leave, 8 hours later called friends who then came over and called 911. And people, and that, like I say, that's just stripping at bare bones. That's bare bones. That's not taking anything else into consideration. That's just bare bones. That's the story. And I appreciate not many people, apart from the families, have skin in the game. But if you did, you would look at it differently. The questions that are being asked are warranted. It's not about bullying people. It's about just the nature of the beast. When there is a situation that people are interested in, people get invested in, and there are questions and holes, people will search to have those holes filled. I don't know what people want to complain about. And it's the likes of Ashley Banfield and the power of NewsNation and their influence that is one of the primary antagonists of the negativity towards all of these people. Because as the news shifts, the focus shifts. It's not target. I love the way that, like I said earlier, the people focus on the word target. When it's talking about Bethany, if it's talking about Dylan, it's target. It's talking about Brian, it's incel. It's narcissist. It's sexist. It's bigot. Do you know what I mean? That is the mainstream media controlling the narrative. And that's what these groups do, these discussion groups. Even though they claim to be discussion groups, there is an underlying direction they want to carry that in. And as soon as people start to go against what their overall direction, either it's because of fear, they fear that, oh, hold on a second, if this goes too far, we could get shut down, and we've got this group and it's got 250,000 members. You know, that's not a fucking job. If you've got a group and you're an administrator of a group on Facebook, it's not a job. It's a hobby. It's a hobby at best. I just don't get it. I just do not get it. There's more than just Dylan. There's more than just Bethany. There is Dylan, Bethany, Brian, families, victims, and not in that order. It's the victims first, the victim's family, the accused, and the survivors. And when I say survivors, they didn't survive. It's not about surviving because they weren't attacked. They were left alone. They were left alone. They weren't even attacked. And that's why people will raise questions. There have been cases in the past where people have been accused by law enforcement heavily. The Nicky Reeve case in the UK. Young boy turns up dead. Mum accused. Police goes round their house. They look at the books she reads, the music she listens to, the condition of her house. And all of a sudden, it's her. And her life is destroyed and ruined. Later on down the line, it turns out that it wasn't her at all. It was another young boy at the time, and 30 years later, he's then arrested, charged, and incarcerated for the murder. But the damage has been done. Because the people in power and the people in influence focused heavily on one direction and weren't willing to look anywhere else. Confirmation bias. And we saw a similar situation with Chris McDonough in the Summer Wells case. He perpetuated an unstoppable attack upon the parents that even people like myself got caught up in. And look, that might now, we're seeing stuff in the Summer Wells case where that may have been warranted. But at the time, who knows? Who knows? And it could have now done irreparable damage because now the Wells family have turned down help from the Cold Case Foundation to find Summer because of the connection between the Cold Case Foundation and Chris McDonough. So just this... But look, this platform here, Harsh Reality. Harsh Reality is about providing a platform for people of all aspects of cases with any kind of thought process to discuss and to bounce off one another with differing opinions to discuss cases. It's not about bullying. It's about, I suppose, online rubbernecking. You know, if you're driving down the road and you see a car accident, you can't help but, what's happening there? What's happening there? You do it. You're going to do it. The natural curiosity to find out what's happened and get answers. And we have this internal arrogance that we think that we are, that people are obligated to tell us information. We're not, I get that, but you can't take away curiosity. So I want to build a sanctuary for people, whatever they think, to come over and discuss it. But too many times are we seeing platforms that are hell-bent on pushing and steering things in their direction. And as soon as someone comes along, or a group comes along, or the direction starts to go off, they cut people off dead, and people have a problem with that. That's the problem. That's the problem. That now, life in general, and whatever you're talking about, whether it be politics or religion, people cannot coexist. People of differing opinions cannot coexist. And then people start trying to push their agenda, push what they believe in into people's faces. Like the transgender movement. Like, people have coexisted for hundreds of thousands of fucking years. It's only now becoming a massive fucking problem because people are trying to ram different ideologies down people's throats. And then it's causing clashes, causing issues. And I could go on. This video could be 3 hours long. I'm going to do a live later 10:30 p.m. British summertime, which I believe is around 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'll catch you all there.
What's up, Harsh fam? We just launched our new nonprofit organization, United Search Corps. We're going to be advocating for the missing and families of the missing as well. And we need your help to spread awareness for our mission and also our fundraiser. There's a lot of equipment and necessary things that we need for this to be possible. So please take a second and share our fundraiser. For more information, please check out our website, unitedsearchcorps.org. Go over to my YouTube channel and check out our announcement video as well. The links will be in the description below. Thank each and every one of you for your time and consideration. Thank you.